Good evening. Good evening. Just trying to shut off the sound on one of my other pages. Mr. Watkins. So I see the name, and my first thought was homes. When I think of homes, I'm thinking of something to do with electricity. When I think of ho, H-O as in ho, 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 it reminds me of one cell. Ho, ho, ho is 3 cells, the minimum amount of cells you can have to create torus. When it's 3 bubbles coming next to each other, they'll create torus, which is 1/2 of the letter I. It takes 4 cells next to each other to create that element where 2 cells will touch. That means the other 2 have to be further away, giving the extended height. And because the rounds of the ball will create that little triangle, I like to call it the delta angle or the 4th angle, and automatically saying that since the delta angle is involved, that formation between the 3 bubbles, it's automatically creation of three bubbles. I mean, you can have the 3 centers of the bubbles, but what about the outside, the 360 of the bubbles? There's a lot of things always going on. I'm looking at the Maya code, and I know there's more to what I see. I know this says gateway. I know this can mean many things, and I see a stretched out arm. When I see letters, anything to do with angles, it's because of the tilt. I mean, that's what I see. And then sometimes when I see this is a half a moon spinning around the letter I, which is dividing one side from the other. In the heavens, it's above and below, but for who I am, it's divided or living between 2 sides. Just want to show you one thing about 2468 I've been going over lately in my videos. I've been looking at, I'm going to see if I can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, in roulette, okay, here we have two numbers. We have A and we have C, right? This is the way it's done in roulette. What I think has happened, did I do this right? 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll lose 2, they'll lose 2, they'll win 2, they'll lose 2, no, they'll lose 1. No, it should have been 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, where it's A and C, and then actually B comes in over here, showing the average or the doorway between A and C, and each one will have, sorry about that. I just question myself on this reality here. Here is A and C, and here is B. So if this is the reality of squaring things off, but roulette works like this. So I'm asking myself, why is this 3rd row here? So anyways, just want to stay away from that. Let's see where I'm going to begin. Oh boy. Okay, let's begin where I was. Let's just begin where I was. In this Mayan book over here, they're talking about Inframon Nacional. I don't really know what the translation is, but the first world, the second world, the third world, the fourth world. Okay, and then the planetary, this is Inframon. I'm going to have to look this up. Planetaire, the galactic, and the universal. So I'm going to go over all these dates. Right now, the dates are over here. In the first world, it was 3115 before Christ, right? BC before Christ, before JCB, before Jesus Christ, to 1834 plus 1281 equals 3115 equals 3115. Man and Mars. You can look at these combinations any way you want. The final result of this one will end up being 1. The final result for this one will end up being 2. After you mathematically continue multiplying. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 3 and 4. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4. 12 and 7 equals 19. 19, 1 plus 9 equals to 10. 1 times 9 equals to 9. 9 and 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 1 and 9 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5. This one we're going to go a little bit further. This one will be 6 and 5, and then it'll be 41 or 1 and 4, and then it'll be 29, and then it'll be 11. So I can put 11. 11 is 1 and 1 is 2. This is 29. This is 11. This will create 1 and 2 in its own, and then it will create 6 and 5 again, and it'll continue on and over. 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and it's this 2 and 3 that will create this from this and this. It'll end with this creating this, and then this is how it began. 15 and 23. 5 times 3, 5 plus 3, one of the cells, equals to 35. Now the thing is, in order to create this scenario, you can't have one cell. You need a minimum of 4 cells. 4 cells equals to 1. And then this one over here, we're just going to create the diamond inside of it. So we all know that it's a quarter cell connected by creating the diamond inside the square, creating 8 areas that have 5 and 3 equals to 8. Now what we're going to do with this next, it is the 6th world. Why is it the 6th world? Why is it the 6th world? There's 9 areas over here. It's valued as the 6th world. I don't remember what the artwork and design was and where I was going with this, but the reality is, when you occupy this one area spot, right, the reason for this design is I need to show all areas of possible captures. What it means is I have to capture a corner, or I have to capture in between an area space. By capturing in between an area space, I now can all put the chips on the casino and know exactly where they go because of the area space. So I know that if I have 4 corners, and I know this is going to be 2, 5, and 8. The only way I can possibly make this 9 bets, the only way to make this 9 bet, okay, is to either have it on, not on 2, not on the first 2, okay, not on the first, actually, yes, on the first 2 you can also do it, 2 and 0, sorry. So you can do it with 10, 20, and 30. You do know that the roulette wheel 1, 2, 3 touches 0 and double 0. So you can be touching 10, and you can be touching 2 or 300. If I'm not really sure which way it's split. I'm not sure if 20 can, I'm not sure where the 2 is split with the zeros up here. The 2 might be able to split inside the first 0 going 10, 20, and this one's only 30 or 320. Anyways, I'm not sure if you can understand that, but this is the roulette right here. These are your chips. It has to be on 2, 5, or 8. But in reality, you cannot bet this on number 35 is no bet. There is no bet in this area on number 35. 0 bet. So the reason for that is because the board ended, unless it reconnects. But in this scenario, there is no bet. So 35 is the only one, only 8 possible bets. In fact, you cannot bet any of this bottom row because there is no bottom row here. So you'll only be betting 6 parts on number 35. So the second part of this calendar is 1834 to 552, 1282, 1281, 1282, 552 to 730, okay, 1282. And then you go to the 4th one, 730, 211, 1281. So it was 1281 to start, and in between, there were 2 1282s. This is the cycle, 28, 82. This will end up saying 382, 1 and 2 comes together. We can clone all of this. You see the way 8 is cloned, the heaven is cloned between Venus,
Okay, but there is no 1. So if 8282, it's just telling us that 1 is next. So now we're going to open it up this way and go 383. Ho, ho, ho. That's what it is. 24 on the left, 24 on the right. It'll become 35 and 35 and create 23. Then it'll create 1111 at the end of this numeric value. That's what it's going to create. The reason for that is 3 times 5 is 15. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 15 equals 23. 8 and 15 are the letters H and O for ho, 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 before the Venus come Earth and Christ. Number 35, you have to remember that the payouts in all of this, if you were able and capable to make 11 of the 12 bets, only 11 of the 12. The 147 is down the sideline, so a bet over here is only 11 to 1, and there are 12 of those. There are 12 times 11 to 1 equals to 120 equals to 132. 12 female, 13 male. 1 and 2 also creates the E world, and this will also create the moon and the passage of 66. Add them up. 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. 1 times 2 times 3, 6. 66. 1 and 2 coming together. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 5. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 7. 2 times 3, 6. 2 plus 3, 5. 57, 65. That was the year 2015. That was the end of the year when the cube was capable of inverting. That was the year 5775. That was the portal that opened up. And that portal extends and shows you a gateway for me on the floor. I'm not sure if you can see the shadow. That's from the roulette wheel, and you can see at a distance. I'm not sure if you can see. Hold on. Can I open up something with the camera here? Okay, I'm just going to see if I can give you some light. See those cubes in the center? See that cube? That cube is 111, the total of the cube. The stop signs are because I connected all the 36s together of roulette. Rows of roulette, 36, 36, 36. You need to have more than 2. You need a minimum of 4 boards to create 2, but to complete for a full reflection inside of like 3, 6, 9, 12 stop signs, I think you need 5 boards. So there is something else. Just give me a second here. I'm just trying to remember, why do we have to start? You see, it's A, B, C, D, E, and then it becomes F. Okay, F, E, B, C. Sorry. Let me correct myself. F, E, D, F, E, D, C, B. Wow, I'm too close, I guess, eh? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. So, where am I on this page? Okay, right here. So this over here is up to 5, and the reason for that is because if I go to 6, I'm showing you the whole dimension. You can never do the whole dimension. The whole dimension of this cube is 21 dots. There are 6 sides. There are a total of 54 dots. With that said, that means there are 33 voids. It is never all done. The cube will never have anything all done. When one of these numbers are up, another one is down. There are different ones on the side. I want to start with what creates everything, I believe, which is the 1, and the 4 is its polarity. So when the 1 is up, 1 up is the first 1 up. Okay, 71, 1 up, which creates the cube DC right away to begin with, creates man, 21 and 10, will create man and woman. The totality of its creation creates 31, man, but its creation is through you, 21. It is first for the first time, and it'll create the E-world. E-world of not 10, but the E-world of 5, it's a split world, so it becomes E10. 5 and 5, 2 worlds brought together to create 1. 2 worlds brought together to create 1, or 2 worlds brought together to create 1, or 1 world brought 2 worlds together. And you can also look at this one and say, well, I'm just going to add this one over here, and it'll be my stepping stool. This is the in-between. In the first square, we're going to give it number 1. In the second square, we give it number 3. And it is 2 that connects and 4 that connects. Connecting of the 7th gate is 2 and 4, because that 7th gate is between 1 and 3. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 6 and 8. You now have the division of the 7th gate. So you have 6 and 8. But the reality is, on 1 cube, it is 3 and it is 4. So then you go 3 and 3 and 4 and 4, and now you're going to use, well, you would think I'd have a bunch of cubes, eh? So you're going to have you're going to have 1 and 3 to start with. So right away, you know, when you have 1 and 3, you're automatically going to have 6 and 4. So when you have man, you have 10. When you have that bar mitzvah, when you have the bar, right, and you're barring 12, but when you have the bar mitzvah, because the 12 is supposed to be the bat, have yourself a tab, rab. So the 6 and 4, and if you want to go to ape, then ape was our freedom at 55, because that's the reverse at the 7th gate. So it's all in perspective and understanding. And where does 6 come from? Well, 6 comes from 1 and 5, 2 and 4, 3 and 3, as 8 comes from 6 and 2, 5 and 3, 4 and 4, all relative to the fact of what was created. Give me a minute. This is 20 minutes. I'm going to be taking about a 1-minute break here. I just want to check something. Sore shoulder. This is not a good light like that. Just want to say a shout out to all my friends out there. Learning, we must, in order to get to the new world, we must learn and understand the old world. We must understand and how to live in this world, and not only for us, but for everybody around us, because that is our, how can you say it, our link and connection. When one falls down, the other one picks it up, like the duck going to the back of the line. We're here fighting, as I said before, the uncontrollable, but always known what is the universe. Outside where we live, if you can see that it's chaotic, it was put under control and we live in it. We have to continue learning on how to live with the chaos that is constantly against us, Mother Nature. Having us to think over time, does she really talk to us, or did we learn to read her signs? I guess it's getting cold outside.
the water might turn to ice. So we learned her signs. She is the element of a greater nature of what brings everything together and possibility to have life. Energy, 74, Jesus. Matter, 77, the Christ. The two together bring on 55, the freedom through which is rotating through what is known as 51, the area known to be Mars. Rotating in which was created through Mother's nature, which is Venus, which is 4 times what is Venus to create. But there is no 4 times. There is only 3. The other stands at a void. You see this? The only way to get the connection is like that. You must turn it. There is no real other 8. There's life only here in I, but we live in the heavens connected. I don't live in the electricity box, but I am powered by the electric. So we use the universe to power ourselves up. We are the universe in control. Thank you to my liver, and thank you to all my organs, especially you. I want to thank you. Thanking somebody puts them first. U is the 21st letter. It is also a standard for A, B, C, D, which equals to 6F. 6F. The alphabet must move and begin at 6F, unless I take the whole alphabet, because we all think that A should be first. We will now move the letter A over to the 6th position, and instead of increasing all my numbers, as they do in some of the gematrias, where in gematria, even if I move all the letters, multiply all my letters for being 6 times the value. And the reason for 6 times the value is in the E-world, the one spirit lives connected to the heavens. But you use the heavens to create your life, your conscience. So what is who you are is part of the 6 and 6 connection. The gematria, that's why I'd like to talk in gematria, but I keep switching over the value of my numbers into the regular alphabet. Yeah, all these numbers to me tell me I have to learn how to read the Mayan, and it stops in 2011. I'm going to just jump around right now. I'm not really sure where I was. I just want to talk a little bit about numbers. There are 1,400, because coincidences, right? I just like to look at coincidences and match it up with what I was taught. I hope I was taught well. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. So I ponder. I says, okay, is that true? There is 24 hours in the day, and I guess that's true. 1,440 divided by 4 parts to the day, equals 360. That means we go around the day 4 times in order to create the day, and we move on. This is the way I like to look at it, looping. If they're saying retrograding, I like to go the loop, come back as I'm going up, and then I go forward, and I go back and go up, and then I go forward. So the 24-hour day, the 7-day a week, the 7 by 24 equals to 168. That is through the sun, number 14. 7 by 20 is 140. So that's through the sun, but it actually comes through the sun. 0 is equal to 6, it'd be 146. Just thinking the sunlight. I'm trying to see where I'm going. So we had the 24, that's where I was, the 1,440 minutes in a day. So 144, which is 12 by 12, or 144, same thing, 144.0. Now Earth, diameter to Earth is 7,920. So you take 5.5, which is the center separation in numbers, 5.5 times 1440 equals to 7920, the diameter of Earth. Coincidence? Now, if you take the 7920
and take that 7 and make the 7 value as 2 and 5, because Earth number is 2 and 5, Earth's heart is 25, a jack is 2 and 5 as to the plugin, and another reason is we play inside of 1 and 6. It's 1 and 6 is the bookends, 2 and 5, and 3 and 4. So only 3 and 4 doesn't touch the bookends of what is 1 and 6. And the polarity and the connection between 1 and 6 is 10 and 11 equaling to 21. That is the smallest gap. 1 through all the way to 21 is the largest gap, with 20 numbers in between. So we can't have all of them. It's just like in baseball. I can't have 1 and 6 because one of them is going to be down, so the 6 will be up. All I can have is 20. Like in baseball, 3 strikes, you strike out. 4 balls, you take the base. 4 plus 3 equals to 7. But it never happens. It's impossible. It never happens. The action pitch is on the 6th pitch when the count is full. When the count is full. So when the count is full, there are 5. So whichever design I'm going to create through 5, or life. The 5th letter is E. So we already know that it's been created through U, and the E world female, which happens at the year 12 years old, but it is 12 years old finished, starting into the 13th year, into the year of the moon. When the man turns into his cycle of the 7th gate, which is 13, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals 3 and 4. That is the love polarity of the E world, because the only difference between the center of these two is the 0.5. And I'm going to explain to you where that fits in. The 0.5 always, anything point with no number before it will always have a number of only one difference. Where was I with this now? Wow. Too much explanation. So 5 and 2. I can't believe, I think I'm going to have to rewind this video. So I'm going to go back to the Earth and see if I can catch up. So now the moon diameter is 2160, which is 1.5 times 1440, the day to the moon. The difference between the Earth and the moon in diameter size by the multiplication of 1440 is 4. So let me show you on pen and paper what it actually looks like. So you have 360 times 4 equals to a total of 1440. Where 1440 times 5.5 equals 7920, which is the diameter of Earth, dia Earth. Okay, in which 1.5 times 1440 is 2160, and that's the dia of the moon. Earth number is 52, and the moon number is 57. 4 times 13, 9 and 4, 8 and 5, 7 and 6, 1 and 3, 2 and 2. All my ways to get to the same result. The female is the 5, and the male is the 13, also noted as the king and the queen. When added together, they will create 3 for the female and 4 for the male, the polarity and the love between the two, with the female bringing the passage for the male. 5 and 7, which is also noted, and since it is divisible, we'll bring it down to its skeleton number of number 19, in which when we build up this number, right, 19 times 3 equals to 57, but if we're building the number up, 3 by 9 is 27, and 3 by 1 is 3. This will actually look like 3 and 9. And that's where 3 by 13 will equal to 39. And these are the angels of 10. The angels of 10, where 1 and 3 equals to 4, where 1 and 3 equals to 4, where 6 and 4 equals to 10, and that is our communication rabbit. And you just see 6 and 4 on the other side, to where our liberty comes in. 5 and 5 equals to 10, to what is 2 and 2 equals to 0, 4. And then we're going to take that like that. So when all this is happening, we have other things happening that are on the side of the cube. When the 2 is up, you see the 3 is to the left. When the 6 is up, the 3 is to the right. See that? 6 up, 3 to the right. 2 up, 3 to the left. 2 or 5 up, it'll be on the left. See that? 2 or 5 up on the left. And the 1 or 6 will be on the right. See, the 1 is over here, it's on the right. And the 6 is on the right. So these are the stories, because this is an accent. In French, they call it an accent aigu. If it was this way, it'd be a grave, and I don't really know what the story is yet. Let me see where we are. Right. So we have the 1440, and we're going to run the cycle. Although we know the full cycle runs at 10, I'm going to give you an example. 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, 9, and then the next one is 4. 4 plus 4, 8. 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. Plus 4 is 7. Plus 4, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. So the first time 4 comes around is over here. But, okay, when it comes to addition, okay, when it comes to addition, 1, 2, 3 equals to 6, plus the fourth number equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. So in the first house, 1 comes to fruition in its first time it reaches fourth. Not only that, first, second, third, and fourth. They don't happen all the time. These don't happen all the time. They're singular. In the first 20 numbers, this only happens once of each, except for number 4, where number 4 goes all the way to the 20th, where alpha beta is creation plus 18 numbers. First and second is the basic creation, so that is 2b, and then it's 18r. That is the beginning. And then after that, alpha beta 1 and 2 invert and come together in the letter U, in which the cube inverts, okay, and this is the invert of the 6 equals to the 1. 6 invert, the 21st letter and the 6th letter, 27, alphabet reverse. The cube is totaled at 21. It takes 1 and 2 to begin creation as 3, but the inverted dice creates Yo 11. In the game of craps, they call this Yo 11, and Yo is the student. They go Yo 11, and that is the student. Yo meaning Mars and Earth. O is Mars and Y is Earth. The total is 40, which will become 46. And what's ironic, that in this Mayan times thing, here's 12, where is it? 1281, which is 9 and 12, which is 28. The cycle is the difference. And again, the cycle is the difference over here. In the last part of the next part of the cycle, from the year 730 to 2011 was the fourth part. The first part, 64, 64, 64, 64. Zion, Israel, 0, DC will create this, and DC will create this at 10 and 24, equaling to 34. Man, woman, 12 equaling to 3. 13 equaling to 4. Are there any others? Of course there are. Of course there are. There's 9 and 3 equaling to 12. 8 and 4. 7 and 5. 6 and 6. 7 and 5 is the moon. 8 and 4 is Pluto. 3 and 9 is creation of all the angels, and it is creation and the birth. These two will come together because 9 and 6 come in rotation of each other. and 7 and 8 is the gateway through the sun. 5 and 4 noted as Fox, noted as 666, F06, O, the 15th letter, X, the 24th letter. The OX, love and kisses, equal to 39, the angels of the family of 6. But it is noticed in the game of craps and in the dice cube that there's 1 6 missing, and that's the 3 and 3 equivalent to this 6. So this 6, once there's 2 together, they magnetize and they flip, and you end up creating 96 in rotation. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, creating this rotation in the sun, which 9 times 6 equals to 54. And noted in the Mayan calendar, running in their grindstone at 7 and 13, right? I'm just going to look to see if I can find their grindstone up here, right? So let me see 1 second. I'm looking, just keep looking down here for a second. My friend, I'm looking. So many silly mistakes. Open up your heart and talk. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to listen, to learn every single day of your life. So I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is, so I'm going to try and remember. So this was 12. So 13, as I said before, is 9 and 4, 8 and 5, 7 and 6. Now, where are these created and what do they create? This will be 49 at the end. If it's 94, it ends up to be 49. Anything with a 9 in front will not be first, it'll be last. So we're going to go 59, 49, 39, but we're not going to use 29 and 19. Okay, that is the sun, that is the half-life. This will give you day and night, and if it gives you day and night, it will give you high. And if it gives you high, why would it give you high? It would give you 98, which is created from 18, as well as 52 will create 17, as this will create 17 in its own. Now let me explain this whole thing to you. That in order to have your creation, you must have alpha beta through the 9 hole. 9 and 9 is 18. 1 and 2 is 3. It's 3 and 18 for your 21. It's 3 and 9 creating the angels. That's what's going to come out of this 39, not 48. This is the final addition, but I recalculate it to a single digit. So I take 3 and 9 over here, and we're going to use it over here. The polarity into the E world, because there's an E pass between these two, there's only 0.5 to the center of 3 and 4. I'm only talking about 3 and 4. And into that world, believe it or not, 5 is always in between everything. 5 is in between everything. Or 5 is in between the bottom and the top. The reason I'm mentioning this is A, B, C equals 2, 6. When you add the D, it equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. It is the first time we begin the second level of A at D, 4 and 1, and that is AD and into the sun. So 3 and 9 and 4 and 9. Why did I get 98? Why did I get 98 high? I'm just trying to think. Boy, I took my mind off of it and I forgot. Let me see why I got 98. This is 8 and this is 9. When there is 9, there is always 8. So that's one thing. When we have 18, we have 1. We have a situation on our hands. Okay, 1 through 8 equals to 36. So that is your creation of the light. The 6 is up, creation of the light. 6 is your H and your I. The single dot is on the other side to complete the design. So this way is I and this way is H. The other reason I wrote this is because number 18, 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 equals 8 and 9. The 8th letter is H, the 9th letter is I. They total 17. They are the only 2 numbers that will create their own reflection. 1 and 2 come together again. So now I'm going to pair this up. And the answer here is going to be number 35. So that is the answer to one cell. One cell equals to 1.25, the value. Because a cell, which is the moon, okay, runs at 28. So now we have to have one moon plus 1/4 into the next cycle of the next moon, leaving 3 more parts for the zodiac sign. 1 and 3 parts and 1 and 3 parts. 7 days and 21 days and 7 days and 21 days. And if I understand properly, it starts in between all the days at 35. And one of the reasons it tells me that is because of these dice. On these dice, you might see 1 and 6, 5 and 2, 4 and 3, but they all have something in common. The halfway center, this entire cube, is 3.5 or 35. That's the entire center of this cube. Ho, ho, ho. That's what it will create. This is the third letter, and it is the fifth letter, C and E. What is that? Is that before the Christ or after the Christ? So where did I come up with 52? Well, what happens when you're building bricks? These numbers show up in the bricks. And let me see if I can show you some of the bricks. So we've got, I'm just going to use small bricks over here. So you use these small bricks over here. And you put another brick up here and a brick here and a brick here. We're just going to, you know what, I'm lucky I'm not in the mud and I'm just getting to see it. I'm just trying to see if I can even see it. Are you able to see my camera? Where's my camera? Okay. And we're going to put another brick here. So what happens in the bricks, right, is here's the letter H. Here's the letter I, right over there. All right, we're going to see that. Maybe we can use this for bowling also. You see, I'm obligated not to design squares, because if I design squares, I can never create this. So there's a difference between a square and a rectangle. And there's another difference that I've never shown what this is all about, right? I can get my 0, 1 right around that. So anyways, here is the I, and at the same time, the only way to make the H, okay, is to make the H just like the I, but turn it that way. The H and the I are 2 different directions. So that's H and I, and at the same time, you can say I'm fooling around or not. But in order to create the 2 bricks together, their faces meeting will look like that. Looks like a television set. It's also number 52. 52 when multiplied will create 10 and 07, equaling to a total of 17Q. But it is made with a J and a G. And what's ironic is it's 5 times 2 equals to J, and it's 5 plus 2 equaling to G. And the ironic part about it is, in French, they exchange the verbal pronunciation of this. Hello, Mr. Hunter Bear Ian. Learn and grow. Good evening. Good evening. Learn and grow. Yes, help me, help me. Sometimes I go so fast, I don't see what's in front of me, and I always learn to slow down. Sometimes I forget, but if everybody in front of me is ignoring me, I'm just going to keep on going and pumping into the work, because for me, this is super, super important, that the way to wake up is to learn the hidden, what I believe, the hidden, what can we call it? I'm out for the search for the difference, hoping that it will make a difference to somebody. Well, it makes a difference to me. It's telling me all about this planet, which is, it's just giving me a ton of confidence. And I love somebody out there to say it's impossible, whatever you're doing, it's just a coincidence. Coincidence and connection. Even if you talk about Jesus being hung between 2 thieves, okay? Well, look, Jesus and the 2 thieves weren't in the same world. Jesus was hung on the triple cross, while being between the 2 thieves, he was double-crossed. So there's 2 sides. This ball is 88.
I am going to be taking a 2-minute break. So if you have to go to the bathroom, I'm going to see if I can prepare something else. So remember, before we take this break, that Moses and Jesus and Noah were all building something. They built something. They all split the water. Moses came on the water. Jesus brought spirit on the water, and Noah floated away on the water. Bugs Bunny and Jacques Chirac, you know what they did? They had to bring back peace to the world. So what did they do? They stopped the numbers. They gave full flow to the water, and they stopped the numbers. In fact, they didn't really stop the numbers. They opened the gates, and they let the numbers go out of jail. You can add me to that list. Out of the jail. This is actually a wordplay that I'm using. If you remember Bugs Bunny, what they did, you can't get it over here. He's at the waterfall, and Jacques Chirac, he takes his AMT or whatever it is, Acme, and boom, and then down in Nevada, right down in Nevada, and they flooded all the what do they call them? Casinos. I think, is that what it was? I think Samity Sam came out of the casino. He goes, "What's with all the water?" And I think Bugs Bunny says, Lake Mead. Jean-Jacques Chirac, he just broke up Lake Mead, and everybody thought Walt Disney was having fun, but Walt Disney played it. And then, anyways, we've just completed what is known to man as the 21st year of what is known to be the legal spirit, has now come to the 20th century, 21st century. Remember, it is the first 21 years of the 21st century. The cube, the 21st century, 21 years, add 6 to that, in which the first 6 reflect the next 6. There's only one more year to the final cycle, and this Hebrew calendar will be that year in 5783, in where ho, ho, ho comes out onto the calendar. Number 83 will create that ho, ho, ho creation of the heavens. 3 parts and 4 parts. When you run in 3 parts, you run the world of tri. 120 degrees times 3, 360. 120 degrees. What is 120 degrees? Is that in Celsius or Fahrenheit? So 120 degrees times 3 is 360. You know, I like to do my measuring by my cells. These are all my cells. I'm going to count this for 10 like they do in bowling, but the whole size of the box in bowling is this size, so I'm assuming it can actually be 40. But there's always a space for reserve, so they end up, anyways, let's not get into that. So we have this for your 120, or you can have the 4 cycles by 90 equals to 360. Now, in the world we live, there are 1,440 minutes in a day. So we have to go ahead and multiply this, okay, by 4, this by 4, and this by 4, because this is not enough. So instead of going this way, I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to get 480. I'm going to get 12, and I'm going to get 1440, and that's my equation. 3, 3, 9. 12, 12 equals to 144. 8 and 4, 12. This is where Pluto comes in. This is where the word sun comes in. I'm just trying to, this is the sun birth. I'm just trying to see if there's any other letters. I'm just reversing the letters over here. And you know what, for me, I sometimes feel uncomfortable myself when I say certain things. The reverse alphabet for this is this. And I like to see the HL, Ashelem. I don't know, just a cheaper set of housing, mixed H. That's the reverse of sun. All I did is for the H, I put in the sound of H, I put in the sound of L, I put in the sound of M. So this is going to be multiplied by 4
Hold on, 4 by 9 is 360. So I have to go, this will be 360 in itself. This will be times 4 will be 16. And this is going to be 1440. So this will be 979. This is going to be 339. And this is that polarity. This is how that works. So here I'm getting full formation of 360. I'm thinking right now, I'm looking. We got the full minutes in a day, but if I was running by this over here, I only have half a day over here. You follow what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring numbers up to a different level. Here I want to bring, because this is 12 and I know there's 24 hours, even though I came to the number of minutes here, I want to bring this to 24 over here. And if I do that, I'm going to end up having 960, 24, 28, 80. And that would be my day. That would be my true day. So in rotation through the gateway. And then it's a rotation of 3, remember. Okay, 3, everything's multiplied by 3 and 4. And then I do it again. It's 3, and then 1, and then 3, and then 1 in rotation. I play with them just to see what I get. Remember, there's an in-between. Okay, in order to, can I get this square out? You see the square over here? In order to encompass this, look what I have to do. I have to cut into other squares when I'm running on this 45-degree angle. The Fox pass of the sun and the moon. This way and this way. They run into each other, 11, 11, creating the crisscross. And this is where the cube plays this way. Did I get that right? Or is this the way the cube plays this way? Okay, anyways, this one over here. So this one over here is going to be 960. And now we need another 1440. So we need another 480 to come into fruitation over here. I'm starting to mix myself up a little bit. And I need another 4 times this. It keeps going. How can I explain this? I should just stop and start over again because I have my numbers on top of each other. Let me do this. Let me do this. 120 degrees times 3 equals to 360. Before I make this confusing, let me bring it down to the basis. And we have 90 degrees times 4 equals to 360. We all know that when we're reading and measuring, we all know that going all the way around is 360, but a flat cut plane is 180 to advance. So we're only going to run on a flat base of 180. So that would mean this is already twice passed. This would have to make up 2 circles instead of 1. Forget about this one. It'll be, maybe we're going to do one like that and then one like that. This is the E world. Then I can take another form of the same thing and splice it on top of that to complete my 8 configuration. Okay, anyway, so this is what this patount is over here. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to multiply. It's going to become 360 3 times, and then I'm going to do times 9 equals to 27, and 42 is equal to 13120. Is that what it is? Let me get a calculator, something. Did I get that right? 9 times 360 equals to 3240. $3240 is also our vibration. It's also part of the 360, because in order to get this in full numbers, it's Venus. 18 times 18 is 324. It doesn't matter, 0.0 or not. Plus 18 and 18, star system math, equals to your 360 creation through 18. Chai. Chai is 1/2 before the reflection. where else was I going to go with this? I'm just trying to see how that fits into the Mayan calendar. 120, 25,920 divided by 90 equals to 2880, which is 2 days. So it's half of the cycle, 2 days to get into that Mayan calendar. So it's 25,920 divided by 90. But the full cycle, okay, is 1440 times 3, which is right. It's 30. Hold on. Let me get that. 1440 times 3. Yes. Okay. 4320, which is the vibration, and the fourth one of 144 will bring you into 5760, and that's when it's. This is the third one, and here is added one more. So this is the fourth one. So 5760. So this should be an E world. 25,920 divided by 5760 equals to 4.5. That is the Fox pass in the sun to the E world. 0.5. This is also noted as the year 2000. Hebrew time to Gregorian time, this is equal to the year 2000, 5760. Our vibration plus a quarter. Everything's to be 1 1/4. As Mars, okay, is noted to be 1 1/2, and Earth is noted to be 2 1/2. 2 halves of Earth is 1 1/4, and there's 1.25 days left over every single year outside the moon cycle. Outside the moon cycle, in which 18 by 18 creates the 360. And I'm just trying to see, there's another configuration that the 13 moons by 28 days equals to the 364, in which 4 times 1 equals to 4, and A, B, C, D equals to 10. And I'm going to try and explain this. 10 and 24 equals to 34. 7 and 12 equals to 19. Okay, so the spirit of the moon. 2 plus 8 is 10 is 1. This can actually say 40 if I want. This is the minimum to man cycle. The word to man, M-A-N, is 28. Man only can use that word when he becomes 13. So I call it the man cycle. Now when I add these together, it's 41, which equals to 405, and I'm back to the sun again, which all zeros equal to 6. I now have the Fed pass, 4, 5, and 6. I have the 15 to Mars. 4 times 5 times 6 equals to 120, which is 1 part cycle into the moon by the 7th gate, but now we're into the deck of cards in the game of pool. The reason for that, in the game of pool, there are 15 balls. When you add up 1 to 5, which is either 1 to 5 you're going to add up, or you're going to add 2 to 6. One is the darts, and one is the game of pool. I want to use these two. These are polarities on the dice. They're crisscross polarities on the dice, creating 7. I cannot go 1 to 6 because that's complete. There's only 4 and 4, what is separation, and 3 and 3 that are in between of this. So where are we? Let's go back. I think I'm going to go get something to drink, take a 2-minute break. If there's anybody that wants to say something, I'm here. Yeah. What a wonderful, wonderful year I had last year. Oh my God. Always learning, always being asked, what about this? What about that? I only can tell you the logical rationality about all the answers. And lucky, unlucky, fate and karma. Not to over stress yourself. Give me a minute, 2 minutes. Let's take 2 minutes.
I'm coming. I'm coming. How's everybody doing? Can't teach everybody. Can't drag a horse to water. Sometimes we just got to learn on our own. Sometimes it's not as important as you think. To some yes, to some no. Baseball. So the Mayan calendar runs a ton of stuff from 64. That's their, let me see if I lost that page or not. And the other thing about the Mayans is, can we see this? 13, 13, 13, 13. The first half of the alphabet is 13 is 616. 61 is 6 and 1 is 7. So what I did, 6 and 1 and 9 and 4. So that's that angle. So I connected 6 and 9 and 1 and 4. So what we'll do is we'll connect 1 and 6 and 4 and 9. We're just going to do that. And now I'm going to draw a straight line up here. And that is the offset angle, something to do with this planet, but I do not know. That is your 7 and 13 for some kind of Mayan tilt. Maybe I'm going to have to look at some pyramid, try and understand what these numbers are, or share it with somebody that actually knows but are not sure why they created it, because it was the obligation in this design. But roulette tells me a little bit different. Roulette tells me, and I'm not sure which way to do this. I don't really like to go 2 by 3. I like to have a center. I really like to go like that. That's the way I want to do it. It's not completely square. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I have Charlie in my way. You know what? I never tried to 1, 2, 3. If you can help out the channel. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Why am I still doing this after 11 years? I'm still looking for the answers and to save the entire planet, right? Isn't that what we want to do? Everybody wants to save the entire planet. Me too. And I figure by just waking up our senses, waking up what you don't know about, and just learning. We can't remember everything when there's so much in your head. That's why we work with others. We are each other's security, and you can't, although you can't depend on anybody, when you can depend on somebody, it's not the same as depending on nobody at all. But yet you have to know be able to survive on your own. So this comes over here. We take this out and we connect this over here. And we connect this over here. And this is the angle. Let me see. Sometimes I want to look at that part, and then sometimes I want to look at this part. It's almost like you can see it's that angle. You see it's almost like dropping on a certain angle to get in. I'm just trying to, then you would have this. I left it because I wanted to leave this little square here in the center. And then we're going to take this one over here. Now, although the dice cube is not like that, I'm going to assume the dice cube is something a little bit different. Maybe it can move around. I don't know. Maybe it's to be placed. Understand there's more to this dice cube than we know. So anyways, this is the 7 and 13 connecting. Just trying to see what it is. What can it be? 7 and 13 connecting. Some kind of building dropping down. I think we were going to work on number 4 next, and number 4. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that maybe for the next video. Is there anybody still here? Let me look down on YouTube. Okay, YouTube. I believe highly in the vibrations. How can I say this? Yeah, it doesn't even show if anybody's watching. That's pretty weird. It used to show it. So yeah, I believe highly in the vibrations. The 7 months that are in the year, the 7 months that are in the year have 31 days. There are 7 months of 31 days, 210 and 07. There are 4 months of 30 days, 120. Add up 1 to 20, add up 1 to 15. Now there's 1 month of 28 days. Month equaling to 28. 28 at the beginning, 28 in the end, 14 in the center. 28, 14, 28, 1, 5, 1. If I add months to it, it'll give another 1 to it. 1 counting from... Just trying to see something. Counting from 1 over to 28 will give me 28 and 27 equals to 55. That's ironic because counting 1 through 10 equals to 55. 5 and 5 is 10. This is 55. If I count it to a single digit, this will be 46 Zion Israel, which will eventually create DC 3 and 4, the first polarity in the single cube, which tells me that a cube had to be put together of 2 different elements. And sometimes I create that design like that, and then I create the alternate design. Hold on a second. No, there's a mistake. So that's the alternate design, which is, this is a voided space. They have just 3 and 3, and I like to call it the void of Venus. This is the 1. This is where the 1 passes through Mercury. When these 2, 3 and 3 come together, okay, inside what might be or create a base, and you lock in with this over here, you can now transfer from one side to the next. And here goes your cube. And now you got a passage inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just trying to see how many areas there are. Would I be allowed to cut that up? No, I'm not going to do that. So when you have the 210 and 120, you have 330. You have the numerics for rotation. So where do the, whoop, that's wrong. I forgot that 217. 337. It's not 336.
Okay, it's 337. If you had 336, it would be the 12 cycle moon. This one's to the gateway. 336, 337, 335. This is talking about in rotation. This is talking about the cube. Only because I say so, you don't have to believe me. 3 times 7, 3 plus 7 is 21 and 10. Not unlike what is 4 times 6, 4 plus 6 equals to 10 equals to 24. So there's a 3 difference in creation, 1 to the 7th gate. Both creating 10. These are the polars of each other. So they're the polars of each other right over here. 6 and 3, or they're the 6 and 3 void and the 3 and the 6 void. 3, 6 void. Actually, this connects everything together because they're separating the two sides, in which this 6 and 3 is all together in one, the 3 empty spaces. And then this total over here of 28, which will give you 365. And then sometimes this one over here is 29 days in the month. Are we going to do number 4, what number 4 does? Are we going to talk about the bat or the bar? How about the connecting? This is all about 2, 4, 6, 8. Now, if I should put the cube, if I should take the cube, I would be cutting off 1/2 of an area in every single corner of 9. 4 and 9 be cut in half. Anyways, this is what happens when you put everything together. I'm not really sure what it does. I was just thinking about age and casinos and spirits, and the insurance goes down. What is the golden wedding anniversary? And then how can we compare the red and the green? So the red light is 50 and the green light is 25, because you always have to prepare for the red light. So even while it's not red, you still have to prepare for the red light. You're never preparing for the green light, you're going, but you're always preparing for the red light. The crisscrossing of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 2 rows, unless I don't match it this way. But it shows us to play it this way, so I'm going to play it this way. But it really shows us to match. What it really shows us to match is, just give me a second. I'm going to match it up. What am I going to put here? Well, the cat walks in front of me and I just lose my thought. She just won't stop. Just give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. See, if I do this, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, in here, I'm going to get 1 part of what is 1, 0.25. I'm going to get 1 part of what is 1. If I go over here, I'm going to get 1/4 of what is 4. 1/4 of what is 4. What was over here? Yes, 1 part of what is 4. So this is 0.50, sorry. 0.50, 0.25. To what is this number 3? Number 4, I will get 1 part of it, 1.33. And then over here, I'll get 1.25. And then over here, I'll take 1 part of 1. Sorry, it's not 0.5. Number 1 is 0.33. So this equation is 0.33, 0.25, 0.133, 1.25. So that would be this equation. And then if I kept on going down over here, this angle over here, this number is still number 4. So I'm going to get 1.33. And then this one divided by 4 areas, number 5 is 1.25. And then this area over here is number 7. And that's going to be divided by 4 areas. So number 7 divided by 4 areas. 7 divided by 4 equals 1.75. 7 divided by 4 equals 1.75. 4 divided by 7 equals 0.57148. 4 divided by 7. So this numeric value, 4 divided by 7, 7 divided by 4, there's 4 parts here. So it's 1 point, actually, that's what it is. 7 divided by 4 equals to 1.75, which is the invert of these two. So the next one would be 8 divided by 4, which equals to, is that what it was? Yeah, 8 divided by 4 equals to 2. So you're going to get this answer over here. So the answer is going to be 1.33 plus 1.25 plus 1.75 plus 2 equals to 6.33, 66. Rotation in 6. And then when we come into the last rotation over here, we're going to be using these two. And then we're going to add on these two over here. And it'll be 0.58 and 3.75 will make it 4.33. Again, in rotation. Inverted. Anyways, getting a little bit tired. No one's here. I seem to be slacking a little bit. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. And just a little ding. And yeah, my cat's on my table. Wow. Yeah. Looking forward to the warm weather coming up in the end of March, beginning of April. Looking forward to getting out with the favorites. Power to you.